Welcome in to ARC PDX Sports, good people. Tyree Smith, Guillermo Motta alongside with you folks tonight, and we are going to start tonight on the pitch and the gridiron, all right? Joining us tonight, my favorite high school athlete. We got to clap it up. 5-time state champion. Say it one more time. How many? 1,
5.
2,
Go, hurry up.
3. Okay. Oh, you ready for clap? Okay.
Yeah.
5-time state champion, Westland athlete, and Oregon baseball commit, Danny Wideman, fresh off his team's game tonight.
Yes, sir.
Danny joining us tonight. How you doing, brother? Appreciate you so much. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Why couldn't he just like start there? Like, why do we have to do like the whole?
Because we're gonna start clapping it up for our athletes. That's why.
We could have just like done this camera and then, go.
Thank you so much. First of all, Danny, appreciate you joining us tonight.
Hey, thank you for having me.
For sure. Just had a game against Tualatin. I know you guys unfortunately fell 3-1, but I got to talk to you a little bit about this team.
For sure.
That game. What was your thoughts on that? Just the outcome a little bit. What was your thoughts during that game?
You know, I got to give Tualatin a lot of credit. You know, they did their thing for sure. You know, great pitcher on the mound for them, and you know they out-hit us. We had a couple errors, so you know can't beat a team like that with those kind of mistakes.
I know, but I want to talk a little bit about you specifically. Danny has won it. First off, good people, he has won a state championship in baseball and football, something that a lot of athletes can't say that they've done. So I'm curious on you, the football side of things, because we'll get to the baseball. You beat Lake Oswego, one of the top teams in the state.
Yeah.
What was that like for you to win another state championship, to end your football career as a state champion, Westland?
No, I felt great. You know, as a senior, you know, that was a great one for us. You know, they beat us earlier in the season, so it felt great to get them back. And you know, it was just a great team win with all the guys I grew up playing with. It was a great time.
For sure.
Danny, you just said the words growing up. As you're still young, but back in your earlier
Don't
days,
age him now.
back in your younger days, how was that like dividing baseball and football? Did you have a preference, or were you always like, no, I'm gonna play both?
I got into both at the same age. I started both of them when I was 5, so you know, just fall and spring sports. I played a little flag football. I didn't start playing tackle until I was in 5th grade, so you know, just back and forth with flag football and t-ball.
How much of your father did he kind of have influence on that? Pops is here tonight. Luckily, he was able to join us a little bit. I'm curious, how much influence did Pops have a little bit on that? I see he's a great support system for you.
Yeah, you know, he takes me everywhere, you know, gets me to practices and all of that, you know, got me into the game. We've been playing catch, you know, since we were young, just, you know, in my front yard and stuff like that. So, you know, he's always had my back, and he's always been a big influence on me.
So then I'm curious, is the love equal? Now, and I know that's probably hard to choose, but is your love equal for both sports? Because you have a lot of college athletes that talk about they love this sport and then they end up playing something totally different. So I'm curious, is your love for both equal, or do you like another one better than the other?
I've definitely built a love for baseball for sure. Okay. You know, of course, a little safer. You know, I've just been working at it a lot. You know, I think baseball is one of the hardest sports. You know, it's gotta take a lot of swings and stuff like that. And I built a love for it. But I love football. I love everything about it. You know, Friday Night Lights is different. You know, the crowds are crazy, and you know, just all my friends and family in the crowd. You really can't beat it.
I mean, I did mention Oregon baseball when I know G has a question for you, but I know that you probably looked at Oregon football at least a little bit and was just like, No. But that baseball diamond called you a little bit more, huh?
Yeah, I know. The football swagger is crazy. Their facilities, it's nuts. Their crowds, like the teams they play, you know, everything about Oregon football is crazy. But, you know, Oregon baseball has definitely been on the rise, and, you know, that's kind of been a big thing about me with their recruiting. You know, I kind of want to be a part of that rise that they're on.
All right, hear me out.
Uh-oh.
The everlasting argument is football players can play basketball, but basketball players cannot play football.
Okay.
Is that the case for you? Are you able to hoop as well? Me being a basketball player, I have to ask, but are you able to hoop as well?
Yeah, I played a little basketball when I was younger, so I can hoop a little bit, but nothing crazy.
So that was one of those sports that you had to put on the side?
Yeah, I put it a little to the side. You know, I don't got the height for basketball, so you know, I didn't grow enough high. So
he can relate.
Yeah.
You have a question?
I do have a question. Gosh, man, dang. Anyways, I am very curious because it seems like your time is really spent a lot on the diamond or in the classroom. So when you have free time, what do you do? Do you even get free time is the question.
You know, I try and spend it with my family and friends.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, I do a little golfing. I try and get on the golf course sometimes.
Golfer.
Yeah, and I know I'm just staying in the gym, working out, stuff like that.
Let me see your why. Okay, that little Top Golf is working out.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? That's crazy. I actually didn't know you were gonna. I didn't know you knew golf terminology like that. You golf?
Top Golf?
That don't count.
That does count.
Does Top Golf count?
Top Golf counts.
All right, if Danny says it counts, it counts.
It's like it's like the range. It's like just getting some practicing.
1v1 me, bro.
I'm not doing that. Don't go anywhere, good people, because Danny is stick around. We're going to talk some Oregon baseball and exactly why he chose Eugene to play on the diamond and a set of other schools. Stay there after the break. Y'all know that, and he also has it right there on his sweatshirt. He's going down to Eugene in the fall. He will be competing with the Ducks, going against, obviously, them Beavers as well and them other good teams. First, let's talk a little about Westland. I don't think it's said enough that you guys have won 3 straight.
Yeah, no, it's crazy for sure. No,
That's insane, right?
Yeah, I can't even fathom it sometimes. It's a blessing.
And now you're about to go for your 4th. How's that possible? How do you guys talk about that in the locker room? What's the conversations like? Because I know winning doesn't get tiring. So what's the conversation like so you guys can keep on winning?
Yeah, you know, we're always trying to win. You know, the coach has been in the system for a while, so he's taken his fair share of losses in the past, and you know, we just love to win. You know, I've known all these guys since we were young, and you know, we're kind of nice when we were younger. We were pretty dominant, so just to be at a higher stage and just play the game we love it's a blessing.
Looking ahead to next year, it is no secret that student athletes get catered once they get to campus. They get taken care of. But do you think you're ready to be on your own, to live on your own, away from your family?
Yeah, I'm ready for sure. You know,
He said, I'm moving out now.
Listen, I mean, it's a legitimate question. I understand it. I get it.
I mean, I'm not too far away from home. I'm only, you know, a couple hours away. So, you know, I think I'm ready for sure. I love all my teammates and the coachings and, you know, all the facilities that got down there. I'm really excited to get down to Eugene.
So going away from home doesn't make you nervous at all?
It makes me a little nervous. I'm definitely gonna be calling my mom for sure.
What's one thing that makes you nervous, would you say?
You know, just being on my own. You know, I depend on my parents a lot. You know, they've been with me forever, so you know, I depend on them a lot. And you know, just making my own decisions, just being a young man. You know, I'm a little worried about that, but you know, I'm pretty confident for sure.
So then, Oregon baseball. They swept Oregon State baseball this season, which is really incredible for their team and just shows the growth of the program. Why Oregon baseball? Even forget the gridiron. Why Oregon baseball instead? I'm sure you got a lot of offers from other schools outside of the state. So why Eugene?
You know, their facilities are crazy. The facilities are really good. Their coaching staff, you know, I love Coach Wass, Coach Martyr. You know, I love those guys. And, you know, their program has been on the rise. You know, they're in the Big Ten now, so playing better competition, you know, traveling more. And I just think they're on the map, and I wanted to be a part of that.
What did LeBron say? Do I want to be wearing stripes or Nikes?
You know what?
It's valid.
It's a valid question. We got about 60 seconds left. Go ahead. You get to ask him the last one.
What is the one thing that you asked your coaches before you committed that certified your answer of committing to Oregon?
You know, I kind of just asked them about, you know, development and stuff like that, you know, where I want to end up when I leave in Oregon, and you know, how they're going to take care of me, whether that's in the weight room and just, you know, growing up being a young dude, you know, being on my own. So, you know, they're gonna be like my parents, so I'm gonna rely on them a lot. So just, you know, just having a tight relationship with them and, you know, developing me.
Would you say that made you more comfortable about your decision?
Yeah, and I had a great time with them on my official visit. Had some good conversations with them. Just made me feel like family, and I'm really excited to get down there. The grass is green in Eugene.
hey, the grass is green in Eugene. Danny Wideman, Westland athlete and Oregon baseball commit. We appreciate you joining us so much. Right now,
sir.
Westland baseball 18-4 on the season, looking to get a 4th straight championship. Make sure you guys check him out on social media and follow his career all the way till he gets to the big leagues.